Tonight, we travel to the coast of New England. It is the 1920s. The night is quiet. Rain falls slowly from a heavy sky. Each drop lands softly on stone, on wood, on the dark surface of the sea. The ocean moves in long, slow waves. There is no storm yet, only a steady rhythm. In the distance, there is a lighthouse. Tall, still, silent. It stands on a narrow stretch of land, far from the village, far from warmth, far from people. The light is no longer active. No beam turns across the water. No keeper tends the flame. But this lighthouse was not always empty. Many years ago, a man lived here alone. His name was Elias Harrow. He was the keeper of the light. And on one rainy night, something quiet, something slow, something difficult to explain, began to happen. Tonight, we will gently explore his story. There is no rush, only the sound of rain and time. Life in a lighthouse was simple, slow, repetitive. Elias Harrow woke early each morning, before the sun, before the sea fully woke. He would walk in small steps across the wooden floor. The boards would creak softly. The air inside was always cool, sometimes damp. He would begin his work. First, the lamp. He checked the oil. Carefully. Slowly. Always the same way. Then, the glass. He cleaned the lens with a cloth. Round and round. Small circles. He made sure no dust remained, because even a small mark could change the light. During the day, he rested. Sometimes he read. Sometimes he wrote in a logbook. Sometimes he just listened. To the sea, to the wind, to the silence. There were no neighbors. No visitors most days. Only the occasional supply boat. Life was quiet. And for a long time, it was peaceful. One evening, the rain began. Soft at first. Like tonight. Elias lit the lamp as usual. The light turned slowly. The beam moved across the dark water. Everything was normal. But that night, he noticed something small. A sound. Very faint. Very soft. A slow tapping. Tap. Pause. Tap. Pause. It did not come from outside. Not from the sea. Not from the wind. It came from inside the lighthouse. From below. Elias listened. He did not feel fear. Not yet. Only curiosity. He took his lantern. He walked down the narrow stairs. Step by step. Slow. Careful. The tapping stopped. The lower room was empty. Nothing moved. Nothing changed. He stood there for a long time, listening. But the sound did not return. So he went back upstairs and wrote in his logbook. Small sound below. Likely wood or pipes. A simple explanation. A calm mind. A quiet night. The next night, the rain continued. A little stronger now. The sea sounded heavier, more distant. Elias worked as usual. He lit the lamp. He checked the lens. He sat down to rest. And then, the sound returned. Tap. Pause. Tap. But this time, it was clearer, slightly louder, more regular. Elias did not rush. He stood slowly, took his lantern again, walked down the stairs. Each step soft, measured. The sound continued as he moved. Tap, 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 as if it knew he was coming. But when he reached the bottom, it stopped again. The room was empty. Nothing out of place. Nothing broken. Nothing new. Elias stayed longer this time. He listened closely. But there was only silence. So again, he returned upstairs and wrote. The sound repeats. Pattern unclear. Still calm. Still controlled. Over the next days, the rain did not stop. It became part of everything. The air, the walls, the sound of sleep. Elias began to feel something change. Not outside. Inside. Time felt slower. Longer. The days stretched. The nights felt deeper. The sound below came every night now. Always the same rhythm. Always stopping when he approached. Elias began to wait for it. He sat quietly in the evenings, listening, counting. Tap. Pause. Tap. He wrote less. He moved less. He listened more. One night, he did not go downstairs. He stayed at the top, near the light. He wanted to see if the sound would change. And it did. It continued. But now, it sounded closer. Not below. Not far away. But somewhere inside the walls. The lighthouse lens was old. Large. Made of thick glass. It turned slowly with the mechanism. Elias often watched it. The way it bent the light. The way it reflected shapes. One night, while the rain moved across the glass, he noticed something strange. The reflection did not match the room. It was almost correct. Almost the same. But not exactly. The angle felt wrong. The shadows moved slower. Just slightly. As if something behind the glass was not following time the same way. Elias stepped closer. The light turned. The reflection shifted. For a moment, he thought he saw movement. But when he looked directly, there was nothing. He stood still, watching, waiting. But the glass showed only the room again. Quiet. Still. Normal. Days passed. Or maybe nights. It became harder to tell. Elias wrote one final entry. Slowly. Carefully. The sound is not below. Pause. The sound is not outside. Pause. It follows the light. Long pause. I will not light it tomorrow. The next evening, Elias did not light the lamp. The lighthouse remained dark. For the first time in years, the sea stretched into darkness. No beam, no rotation, no signal. Inside the lighthouse, everything felt still, very still. Elias sat quietly, listening, waiting. The rain fell gently. Time moved slowly. And then, the sound came again. But now, it was different. No longer tapping. No pauses. Just a soft, continuous sound. Like something moving. Very slowly. Very carefully. Around him. Not below. Not inside the walls. But near. Very near. Elias did not move. He kept still. His breathing slow. His eyes on the dark lens. And in the faint reflection, he saw something. Not clearly. Not sharply. But enough to notice. A shape that was not his own, standing behind him. In the morning, the rain stopped. The sea was calm again. A supply boat arrived later that day, but no one answered. The lighthouse door was open. Inside, everything was quiet, clean, undisturbed. The lamp was not lit. The logbook rested on the table. The final entry still fresh. But Elias' harrow was gone. No signs of struggle. No footprints. No damage. Nothing broken. Nothing missing. Only silence. Years passed. The lighthouse was closed. No new keeper arrived. People spoke less about it over time. The story became quiet, like the building itself. Today, the lighthouse still stands, old, still, watching the sea. Sometimes, during long rain, people say they notice something small. A faint light. Very soft. Very slow. Turning. Just once. Across the water. It does not guide ships. It does not stay long. And then, it disappears again. Like it was never there. The rain continues. The sea moves slowly. And the lighthouse remains.